Hello, this is the Brass Loved One Healer to Row 9 here on YouTube. This is a storyline reading that I am led to do because this is disgusting. This is terrible. This is a storyline reading as far as a pastor who molested a child from 7 years old up into at least 10 years. The news says that the child was abused at least 600 times. So at 14 years old, he got her pregnant. So the child is 6 years old now. That's what the news says, right? But the child was given up, I guess, for adoption or something like that. Now, I saw the father yesterday on the internet, and I think he was saying about he couldn't understand it or something, and how can the man even have any feelings or get feelings or whatever from a child or whatever he was saying. But I thought that was inappropriate because he shouldn't have said anything like that. If anything, he should have been saying how he going to go after him, not about feelings and things like that. So that was inappropriate, I felt, what the father said. So we have a pastor who abused his power. He ran all over top of the father, the mother, and everybody else. He looked at the father as a chump because being a pastor, they feel like they control you and they pretty much talk down to you as a man. So they make you be submissive, so you feel like you can't address them because they will make you feel like you're not doing what God wants you to do, so you have to let the pastor lead. So that's not a good thing because he looked at the father as a chump. He molested this man's child from 7 years old all the way up until when she was 14, she actually was pregnant. He went even further. Now you tell me he didn't think he was a chump. He thought the father was a chump. He ran all over him with both feet, his whole body. You might say he walked all over him. Each time he touched that man's child, he ran all over top of that man. It was like he was walking over him, stomping his rights as a father out, saying, you nobody, I'm going to do what I want to do to your child. Okay, this pastor's name is Robert L.Carter in Houston, right? So the trial is coming up February, I think it's February 27th or whenever it's coming, in February sometime. But I just saw clips from this on the internet yesterday and today. So I'm led to do a storyline reading as far as the parents, because your child being molested from 7 years old when you don't even know this man doing anything to your child, you don't see nothing on your child to let you see that something is wrong. The father said yesterday she needed some kind of, or whenever it was back then, or whenever she needed some kind of counseling or whatever for depression or psychiatric help or whatever she might have needed from this stuff happening to her back then, you know, whenever it might have been. But the thing is, you got two parents and they let this go on this long. Sometimes people know what's going on and they just let it go on. Sometimes parents know and they let it go on, and that's my problem. When parents do that, they should be held accountable also, because you know what's going on and you just allow it to happen. And because the person is a pastor, you give them a pass. You know about back then when it's like molestation in families, the mother know the father doing something and you just let it just flow because you need the money to come in, you don't want to lose him as a husband and all this dumb stuff. So we got that in church too, where you sitting there and you allowing things to happen to your child. There's no way both parents shouldn't have saw something going on with your child some kind of way from age 7 up until 14 getting pregnant. There's no way one of you didn't see something. And if you found out or you assumed or you thought or whatever something, you didn't step up and do anything about it. So you ought to blame too when you sit there and you allow things to happen just because he passed a so-and-so. I don't care who he's supposed to be. And then it happens to be a family member, and it even make it worse, because you probably still looking up to him like he this and he that, and he done molested your child for all this time and he got your child pregnant, and you probably still looking at him as somebody special. He's going to pay the price. And the parent's going to pay the price too, because God is not going to condone this. If you allow this man to continue to do things to your child, and you assumed, you thought, or whatever it might have been over the years, and you did nothing about it because he's a pastor, because you didn't want his reputation messed up, because you need to forgive because the Bible says forgive, or whatever it was, God is going to hold you responsible too. Because this child shouldn't have went through this, where it gets so far where she wound up being pregnant when it's all over with. It's just ridiculous. We got two parents, not one. This man just ran all over top of this father with both feet. He might as well just stomp the father with his feet. That's what he was doing. Every time he touched that man's daughter, he stomped the father with his feet. That's what you call stomping. Saying, you nobody. You ain't nothing. I'm the boss around here. I get her orders around here. And that's what he did. Took her in the church, wherever he took her at in the church, and did whatever he did to this child, or wherever else he did it at. I didn't like hearing that at all. I don't like people doing things to children, to women in general, or to nobody. I don't like nobody being abused. But when I hear about somebody doing something to a child, that really touches me. So we got a pastor that abused this power all up and down. And he's a family member, and even if he wasn't one. So we got people who love him as a family member, love him as a pastor, and he just took full advantage, and he just walked all over these people. Her father was made a chump, because that's what it is, a chump. When you do something to somebody's daughter, and they right around, you look at them as a chump. You feel like he ain't gonna do nothing. I run this show. Because he know what any other man out here that wasn't a church goer, like that father was right there, he know that man would not be getting away with that, period. His butt would be beat. And that's a fact, because men don't play that. Men do not play that. Now, by this man being a person that go to church, he's sitting there talking about what the Bible says, and thinking about what the Bible don't want him to do, and all this kind of stuff, and he's sitting going along with this nonsense with this man. After he found out what this man did, he acting like it wasn't even a big deal when he was talking on that yesterday when I heard him. It's terrible. This man then impregnated your child, then molested your child for years, and then actually went even further and raped your child, because that's what it's called. Because she's a child, she don't give consent. So that's considered rape. Period. And you probably still was going to that church, dragging your child there, even after you felt or thought or whatever, still talking to him probably. Because people want to hold pastors to a higher standard, on a pedestal. And then your family member make it even worse. He violated terrible. He knew you people so good where he felt like, I can just do that. I can do that. They trust me. And he done told the child, don't say nothing, or what's going to happen, or God going to get her, or whatever lie he done told her. Because they do a lot of manipulating. And if you don't have common sense, you're going to fall for everything that gets thrown out to you. So you dealing with a child, so this man just had his way with this child. And the parents just sitting there going to church, don't know about this man doing whatever. And then once, after a while, I really feel that the parents knew something, because you're supposed to observe your children to see what's going on with your children. There's no way your child's supposed to have been dealing with no man any kind of way, and you don't see something going on with your child. Disease, rash, something. since age 7? No. No. Something. So you need to ask God to forgive you because y'all sitting at church and you found out whatever you found out or suspected, and you still wasn't trying to hold that man accountable, and you know it. But right now he's being held accountable, maybe because of the pregnancy. Because you got to put the father's name down. And when it all comes out, well, who got her pregnant? Oh, a grown man. Oh, the pastor did it. And that pulls everything out into the open. Alright, I'm going to do a storyline reading. This focusing on the parents, because I feel like the parents knew after a while. I feel the parents knew before she got pregnant though. They knew something. But then, is this man married? I already know that by him doing what he did, that he got a problem from his own childhood. That's why he did what he did. And he got a problem with women, period. He can't deal with real women. But he got a problem from his own childhood. But he can't deal with a real woman. So what he do is go mess with a child, somebody he can control, who will follow him, with who he can abuse, because he probably was abused. He probably gay. Let me just see. If you can't deal with a real woman, usually you're a gay person, because you should be able to deal with a woman. There's no man can't deal with a woman, because that's how it goes. There's no reason for you not be able to deal with a woman, because that's how it goes. Woman, man. You know too all about it. Okay. So he gonna get everything that he deserved. And I'm just not even. He might have gave the child something. I saw the prostitute card is back again. So he confused the child for a prostitute. So let me work this card. He gave the child stuff to get the child to give in to him. See, I gotta change it around because it's a child. Remember? So he confused the child for a prostitute. So with this storyline, we dealing with a child. So what he did was, I want to see if I can treat her like I do a prostitute. Get what I'm saying? So let me just give her some stuff to get her to do what I want her to do romantically, right? So that's what he did. So he might have gave her candy back then, cookies, or whatever the heck he did. You know, with children, you don't have to give children a lot. A doll baby, or whatever it might have been. Some money, or whatever he was doing. Because he have to make it seem like it's not a bad thing. We just playing a game, or whatever it was like. That's the first card, okay? Okay. He was in affordable housing, and she was. So this is, we're going to call affordable housing in this storyline church, okay? So affordable housing is the church, right? Because people in there, they give money and things like that, right? So I'm not tolerating you no more. So we're going to take this as the child, right? I'm not tolerating you no more. After a while, she was tired of what was happening to her, right? Because he rose to the occasion given to him, right? And that was to take advantage of this child at a young age. So this will be the child. I'm not tolerating you no more. So she rose to the occasion to beat him at his own game. So some kind of way, if any kind of testifying happen, she's going to talk and tell whatever it is to tell. Okay, so let's just see. What you know about it? One more. He is posing as what he wasn't. So he is posing as a leader, a pastor, a God person, godly, while she was seeking refuge. So when everybody go to church, they seeking refuge. They in there, they seeking refuge. Help, get my drift. He is posing as what he wasn't. Fake. Right? A God person. Because something was extraordinary. And that was him attacking and molesting this child. And she wanted it to go back to the sender. He was going to be the cheerleader of his life. Right? They was around something green and flowery. Might have been flowers in the church. She is willing to do something because of fear and force. She is given no other choice. Follow me? By with him. Some kind of way he asked her, was she available? She said yes, I'm sure, because she was little. So no telling what he said, because he is focused on her sexuality. Follow me? So he wanted to do it all together, laughing at the oldies. So he might have said to her back then, let's go listen to some old choir music, or whatever he might have said. I don't know what he said. I can't guess with it. I cannot guess, right? So we have, he wanted her to be courteous because he wanted joint custody. And right here with the joint custody, it simply means he wanted her to engage. He was corny though, because God said he is a monster. Okay, let's just flow. You know, she know all about it. He thought he was a genius. He felt like a genius, like he, because it said on the internet that the baby was born in a closet, and he took her to the firehouse or somewhere to drop the baby off. So he felt like he wasn't going to be, he going to be out of it. He not going to be held responsible. He felt like a genius, I guess, but he didn't know that he was going to be caught, I guess. No, sir. It's time for you to pay the piper. Messing with people's kids. Messing with God's babies. Okay, one more. Stop. There's a big prison card. That's where you're going to end up. Prison. There's a big prison card right here. You in your dream house. And I'm going to say your dream house. Unless you live in a big house, that's a dream house, a fancy house. We're going to make your dream house your church, right? If you don't have one of them nice houses like pastors have, right? But you're going to end up here in the jail. We got 4/32. That could be April 2nd, April 3rd, April 6th, April 7th, March 3rd, March 15th, May 1st, May 13th, May 3rd, August 1st, February 3rd, 4th, 5th, 3rd, 13th, 14th. Let's flow. Put that up there. So let's just see how this goes. Because you're spending your time abusing. I don't know her name, so I can't say. I'm just going to say the little girl, because I just don't know her name, right? You need to let go of destruction, because you're holding on to a corrupt pain. So something comes from, I guess, your childhood, whatever you went through as a child, and you dragged that stuff, all of your childhood wounds, to your adulthood, and you sit there and abuse that child, and that's what you did, and you got to pay for it. Cards are noisy, so bear with me. Okay. You cheapen the little girl's life. I don't know her name, so I just have to call her the little girl. You cheapen her life, right? Because she's a little girl when it started. She's a teenager now, or whatever she is, but still I gotta say the little girl, because she a little girl when it come down to me. Okay? Okay, so something went to the extreme because she is saying no. Somehow she is saying no, but something went to the extreme because she is coping. You was coping with a job, and your job would be being a pastor that you was tired of, or she was coping with what you was doing to her, and that was considered a job, because abusing her was like a job to her, because it's nothing she could do. Okay, because the next one said it was showtime and life was like a movie for her. It was when talking in her surroundings. Okay, she wanted to be secure and sincere. It's like that. Some kind of way you might have told her that she is going to be secure or something like that, because you might have told her about you was going to buy her something, chewing on luxurious. She was chewing on luxurious, so that means some kind of way you was telling her about you going to buy her something maybe, or anything like that. Okay, next one is it was challenging, that's why we can't make it. So it was challenging, that's why she couldn't make it. You and her couldn't make it because you was doing what you was doing, or just you as a pastor or pastors in the congregations in general is challenging. That's why they can't make it, any pastors in their congregation, because we got people like you inside the churches doing things like this, chewing on luxurious, trying to get money and abusing people at the same time. That's what happened on her journey. Okay, she had to stop thinking others knew more than her. So I'm going to say her parents, but also her as she was growing up, because she was getting bigger and bigger. She had to stop thinking you knew more than her because you was a pastor. But her parents needed to also, because they was needing more but not doing all to make it happen. But she was needing more, not doing all to make it happen, because she wasn't telling her parents what was happening. You was not exempt, God says. You are not exempt, right? She had to take heed to what was calling to be seen by her and heard by her, and her parents needed to see what needed to be seen and heard, because they saw something or they heard something through the grapevine or whatever. And I feel they brushed it off because their daughter wasn't exempt. It ain't matter if she was a relative or not. You didn't seem to care. She went too. You didn't care with the abuse. So she is terrified because you raped her to gain force. Here's the card, and that's what you did. We got the number 14. So this is a number 14, and on the internet it says she had a child at 14, so it goes with that. So you raped her to gain force, and that's probably how the baby came along with the rape, because something come from your childhood. Okay, so we have Earth Angel person. She an Earth Angel person, serene love. Or God could be saying you are Earth Angel person because you supposed to be standing in place of a pastor. So that's supposed to be a God person. Let's just flow a little bit. Okay. She gonna make you an absolute memory. But you felt you was gonna make the baby an absolute memory when you took the baby to the firehouse. But you want to be an absolute memory because you're going to jail, to the big house. So it's from talking from the car, either you had in the car, talking from the car to, or whatever you was doing, because you wanted her to desire you, give in to you. But she shouldn't waste her time. Okay. She is not having protection from her father, and that's so true. Her father was right around and she wasn't having protection, because there's no way you should have been alone with his daughter, nowhere. You shouldn't have been with his daughter nowhere alone with his little girl. Why? And you know what? You was with his daughter anywhere. Why was you with his daughter anywhere by yourself? That's what I want to know. She was not having protection from her father. My father was or is abusive. So You was abusive. We're going to turn it around and say you the pastor. You was abusive. You was a father figure because you was old enough probably to be a father. I don't know. Right? But she wasn't having protection from her father. So that's considered abuse too, because he wasn't in place. He allowed you to have his daughter this place and that place, being naive. Okay? It was fussing by the park, by a greenery, by a park, by grass, inside by plants or whatever it might be. So we have right here that you took pills some kind of way that you take anytime. You can get them anywhere. If not you, her father, one of you. Unless now she take pills from what you done. Now we can go however it's flowing. Right? Okay? You wanted to seek revenge on a Negro. So I'm going to put it with, now the parents want to seek revenge on you or the court system, and you are a Negro. Let's turn it around. Okay. Okay. So you barged in with rage some kind of way, wherever she was, somewhere she was. She's saying, no, I can't, I won't, no, stop, or anything like that. But you wasn't having it. So we got the next card. So we got a homosexual relationship. Here's abuse. Right? So you homosexual, and there's abuse in homosexual relationships. So that means two are the same kind. So some kind of way, she is a female and you're a male. So I don't know what's going on with her father. I don't know. But somebody, you know, some kind of way, whoever it is homosexual. Right? You are definitely homosexual. And there's abuse. And abuse is you molested this child. That's the abuse. She needed more vitamin C, or you did. You wondered what business is it of you all. So being in church as the pastor, you feel like you in control, you the leader, you the boss, and nobody should ask you nothing because you the master. Nobody's supposed to ask you anything. So this card says, what business is it of you all's? So if anybody even thought anything or even opened their mouth, this is your remark. What business is it of you all's? You don't want nobody asking anything. You felt it was nobody's business what you was doing, or if they even tried to ask you, because you did something by a certain date, whenever it was, as far as this child. And the rape card over here, the rape, right, that you did. You moved fast on it, fast, real fast. So we have right here that help stop the loss of children. So this is a card when the baby wasn't aborted, the baby was given away in adoption. So you move fast on trying to get a baby away. Help stop the loss of children. You move fast on it, and you did do that. The card is accurate, back to back. You did something by certain, you thought it's nobody's business. You did something and you moved fast on it, and here it is. You gave the baby away. So giving a baby up for adoption is a loss of children because the child's not with the original parent. But then also the loss of children is you raped this little girl, molested this little girl. So that's the loss of childhood for her. Okay, you had the devil energy going on with you. You don't have to be a Capricorn or Earth sign, but you was demonstrating the devil energy. Sexual, devil energy, negative, sinful. The family had to move fast on things and make some moves to try to get you arrested. Because you couldn't control yourself in your own skin. You might like fashion, dressing up because a great-granddad is gunning. So with this right here, you might not be old enough to be her great-granddad, but you was gunning for her. You was coming after her constantly. But we might have somebody, if she have a great-granddad in the spirit, He gunning for you in the spirit. Because he don't like what you did to his grandbaby. Get what I just said? Hope you get to see this one day in jail. You can look at videos in jail. Get you a telephone. Absorb every thought you heard me say. Universe, you know about it. Okay, universe, you know all about it. Okay, she is in an environment full of G's, and she was. And that means church, because it's a congregation. Follow me? Okay, or you gonna be once you go to jail, or you already in jail. Okay, race is always gonna be here. Somebody need to get a grip. You might be in a jail, or you might go to a jail with a lot of white guards that got a racial problem or anything like that. So if not that, you just thought you was better than she was because you feel you're a pastor, so you think you are this and you think you are that. But you needed to look at the price of her life. But you didn't. You wanted to save you no matter what. So you decided to do what you did to this child. Give the baby away because you wanted to save you. But you didn't feel like her life was special because you did this to this child and ruined her life. Giving her psychiatric issues, problems. Okay. You wanted her to think about it because you heard it before, because she might have been saying no to you or whatever she was saying. You chuckled about things. As time went on, more and more time went on and went on and went on. Then eventually you decided you was going to rape her. Because her father really, it says, I never knew my father. You might didn't know your father. Or your father might didn't show you deep down love. Daddy did not show me love. Or her actual father did not show her deep down love because he let you be alone with his child left and right. Because all this wouldn't have happened. Because no man got no business being with your daughter nowhere. With your child, period. No man got no business being alone with your child to be able to do all this harm to your child for years. So some kind of way her father wasn't around. He didn't put the love in he needed. Because God, the next card say that let's not mask the smell of foul, because it was foul what you did to this little girl. Period. It left her with feelings that flow like a river. Emotionally upset. She needed to get a clear mind because things was a mess for her growing up. So we have right here with this one. Somebody might talk to you about eating a certain way. You might eat a certain way. She might eat a certain way. Or daddy might eat a certain way, or anything like that. Could be vegan, or just something about how the person eat, or you eat, or she eat, or whoever this is. Alright. The parents want full revenge right now because of finding out what happened. But you've been gay since your childhood. That's what I said from the beginning before I put any cards out. Enjoy the life that God continues to give you and be happy again. This would be for her. Because tension brewed in her life with you when she needed structure. For a joyous occasion. But you wanted a joyous occasion when you raped her. And every time you was molesting this child, you called that a joyous occasion. But it caused tension in her life. And by you being a pastor, she's scared and thinks she's supposed to do everything you say. Even down to her parents. People in church falling behind the pastor like they don't have no common sense. You're supposed to know right from wrong and have common sense. You don't just be led astray and walk off a darn cliff because the pastor tell you to do it. But she was a child. 7 years old. Is a difference in her and her parents. They know right from wrong. So we have right here, someone was competing with you. Fussing. Or you might have been competing with her father. You might have been competing with her father. You might got a problem with her father. Because you figured you weren't hurt him by messing with his child. You might got a problem with her father. Competing with her father. Or you was fussing with the little girl some kind of way. Fussing. This would be her. I'm bruised, but I'm still me inside. She had to be calm and be the conqueror in this after she was growing up. Because she was dealing with you, the serpent. You was a serpent. You was the devil. You was the devil. You were the devil. She had to take baby steps in her thinking. Because you took your shots to tear her down, tear her emotions, shred her emotions, tear her to shreds. Her body, her emotions, to ruin her. Because that's what, this is a gun card. That's what guns do. Bullet holes tear your body. Bullet holes rip your body. And that's what you call yourself doing. You're going to tear her apart. You're going to ruin her with no kind of way. To meet somebody, to meet a husband or whatever, she feeling all kind of ways about men because of what you did. Because you and your childhood issues that you needed to get straightened out. You have a lot of childhood wounds that you needed to straighten out. But you was looking for prey in that church and you got it. Because her parents wasn't paying attention like they should have. They were slipping. Because you sit there and did what you did for years. That shows the parents wasn't paying attention. You just got away and just had a good old time with this baby. Who are you really? I want to change, but I worry about other people. God say, who was you really? You supposed to have been a pastor. A man of God. And help people. But instead what you did, but wound this little girl. Tear her life apart. And that's what you did. Because God's saying, who are you really? Because you know you was a gay man. You should have just went on your own direction. Go talk to somebody or whatever that's like you. You should have left this child alone. Because you decided to pick door 3 jump. To put this little girl in. Because she's in a closet. That's what it says. Having her baby. Right? So when the baby was born, you decided to get rid of the baby. The baby was as good as junk. Because when we don't want certain things, we throw it away, right? So you didn't throw the baby away, but you gave the baby away. That's good as saying the baby was junk. Right? Because that's the mindset you had. Because you was thinking business minded like the Virgo or like a earth sign, and you wanted balance in your life. You don't want that in your life. Because the parents, unfortunately, something didn't smell right, and they already knew that something wasn't right. How to control things the best way they could was to have structure. So you was living a plantation way of living. Also, this family, or this family was, or the little girl was. Life was falling apart. Not having enough love, food, shelter, money, clothing, or whatever. She didn't have whatever, or her family didn't have, or you didn't, however it's going. You the pastor I'm talking to. So we have right here talking to a counselor. She need to talk to a counselor as a grown-up right now. I mean, she ain't a grown-up. I don't know what her age is right now. Whatever her age is, she got to talk to a counselor or a lawyer some kind of way to put you behind bars where you belong. Or she might have did it at school or whatever this is. Because you were settling her down to be a lifeboat. The lifeboat card is about money. So if you're settling her down to be a lifeboat, or you're selling her parents down to be a lifeboat where you can get money out the parents, because she a child, she wouldn't have money unless you was taking pictures of her selling. If it wasn't nothing like that, because that's the only way she would be your lifeboat. You got the lifeboat card is a money card, or we even can turn it around your lifeboat where you sit there and have your way with this child instead of going getting a grown woman like you should have, and stop being a fraidy cat, right? Because you know that you wasn't adequate for an actual woman, so because you know you wasn't straight, so you messing with kids, right? To try to make things happen for yourself. You chose to stick a fork in this little girl when you made the decisions you made to ruin her life from 7 on up to 14. And then when you got her pregnant, you chose to stick a fork in the baby, and that is get rid of the baby. Your choices are on your own. God said no growth come from the same sex. So your choices were your own. No growth come from the same sex. So you decide you're gonna mess with the child, this little girl, because you felt like, well, you're trying to do what God wants you to do by not messing with the same sex with another man because you're gay. So you decided, well, I'm gonna mess with a little girl then, because I gotta get my needs met, because that's what it seemed like you're doing. You was jet setting and it was juicy. You was having a good old time. So we have the next one. You showed in your actions that you didn't care nothing about her father, who her father supposed to be a relative of yours. You didn't care nothing about that. So you was traveling at night. Some kind of way you was doing stuff with this child at night. I don't know how he was doing it. I don't know what man or woman in their right mind would let some man just have their child lurking around at night, or whatever's going on here. Or you was traveling at night, messing with men at night, one or the other. Jet setting, like the card says, and it was juicy, having a good old time with the same sex out there, right? So we have no one else can have you. So we got this one right here, this card, no one else can have you. So this is the little girl. You got the little girl doing what you're doing to the little girl. No one else can have her. So you made it where you're going to ruin her life where nobody else can have her, because you'll have her psychologically messed up because you done did whatever you done did to her as a child. No one else can have you. That usually go with a man who don't want a lady to go to, and nobody else, just want her all to herself. So you tried to ruin her life where nobody else would want her. She'd just be stuck to you. Or where she'll be messed up, where she might only like guys when it's all over with. I mean, because people come out all kind of ways when things happen to them. It all depends on the person. Really, it does. Okay, so let's see. I need a little bit more. You wanted her to be like a substitute while you like be out there running at nighttime, being with the same sex. So she was like a substitute. So you're messing with her whenever you're messing with her. And then you got somebody out there, the same sex person you running around with. Balance. You was interested in balance. Something balanced. But she was using her as a substitute for you not being able to be out there with whoever you wanted to be with. Or you just wasn't being with nobody because you was thinking that, well, the Bible says I can't be with the same sex, so let me just use her for a substitute. Be able to get some of my needs met. Or you actually was out there doing what you was doing, jet setting outside with somebody at nighttime, because you're traveling at night, either to go see somebody the same sex, or you're traveling some kind of way doing something with this child at night at that church. But the thing is, how is you alone with this child? Was she on choir? I'm trying to think, how would you be alone with this baby? with her. I mean, where is the darn parents? I mean, come on. Ain't that much of church in this world. I ain't having my daughter with nobody. My daughter ain't going with nobody. No men this way and that way. I don't care who you is. I don't care if you King Kong or my sons. You had no business with you and the parents home somewhere. What kind of ball is that? That's what I'm saying. The parents ain't pay attention. They slipped. They were slipping. They ain't do what they supposed to do. You felt it was your game. Your game now. You just had a good time with this child. Right. You felt it was your game now. You tried, you was tired of the games. So I'm gonna say with her, I'm gonna turn this around to her. She tried and she was tired of the games. So you might have at the beginning was making it seem like something was a game because she only was 7. But you need to reveal you was wrong. She is being treated harshly by you like she is nothing. So some kind of way you was grabbing on her arm. You might have told her you was going to give her some money. You went at her like a lion, straight at her. You was educated and you wanted her to be a fool. But you was a jackal, God says. She is the brown rabbit in the middle. She wanted to prevail to get out of this mess because you was a leader. You was a pastor. You had negative talk. Whatever you were saying to her, it was horrifying. Right here it says she was trying to distinguish what was happening. So we have right here, it was unjust what you did to this little girl, and you going to court. Okay, so you want her to be submissive to you, but you want to be submissive to the judge. Right? And you want to be on that battlefield. Okay? Somebody got paid, so that was involved. So you might have gave her money when she was little, buying her stuff or giving her money, giving her suckers or whatever, or you gave her some kind of money. She is little, so. Or if not, if it go a whole nother way, you might have been online with something with her, right? Because it's an online card where something conclude online. Because pastors do all kind of crazy things, right? Somebody got paid. It could have been where you was doing something online, taking pictures and putting something online and getting paid for it. You never know what you've been doing. Nobody knows what you was doing but you and the child. If she talk and say everything, she's babbling, but it was time for her to see. Because right here she wanted her parents. Won't find that my parents even matter. Because she had no business being alone with you, sir. Nowhere. She is being adopted. That means she was being held. She is being babysitted or whatever you call it. You had her somewhere. And you shouldn't have had her, and that's the problem. What she wanted love from you, because I guess you supposed to be a pastor. Supposed to be a pastor, right? Okay, I'm trying to finish this now. I hear finish him when I just said that. Yeah, finish him. The law gonna finish you. Finish him. Law gonna finish you. You gonna get her pregnant, molest her for all them years, and you think you just waltzing out? I think you got out. Did you get out on a bail? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna call you the common law, because you a church. You church, right? So you're a pastor. So you common law, and you a family member. I think they created a monster with you. Yes, you're getting a reading for myself. The grass loved one. Okay. So we have right here, she did it, whatever you said, because you fought her. You gave her a hard time. So she hooked herself on and ran from her problems. It was easy to leave things to others and escape. So right here, what you said, whatever you said to her as a child, you might have gave money or whatever you told her. I just don't know. And she just went along with things because she is a child. You was unhealthy, and she is keeping her mouth shut about you when she should have told her mommy or her daddy what was going on, because you was using her for your plaything, and that's a fact. She was wondering if she could trust you, but she couldn't. God didn't want her to hurt nobody because we dealing with church people, so they is thinking things are people gonna be nice and all, honestly. We got number 26, so you could have been 26 at the time, or 6, 7, 8. Something could have happened when she was 8, or whatever this is. So we got a secret that got to be told or gonna be told. Okay, let me just find. So this time around, you're going to jail, though. You going here, the preliminary hearing right here, because you're sadistic, God said you need soul support, sir. Something is on the phone, so you might have took pictures of this baby and everything, pictures, text, videos, or anything like that that can help in this case, this court case. So I'm just trying to take some and just end it, Lord. Let me just. Okay, it's going to be an honorable date and time set maybe for court, or you did that as far as like taking her somewhere back then. I hear skills I'm on here. You can't buy me. So some kind of way you might was talking to the family, talking to her after she got so big or whatever, and you wanted her not to tell, or you was trying to buy her, try to give her stuff to get her not to talk or get her not to do something, or the family didn't want the family to quit the church or whatever this is. Parents shouldn't walk away. So you two walked away from the baby because the baby was given up for adoption, but also her parents walked away because she was with you at these different places, evidently to get molested or whatever 600 times. That means her parents walked away. They were somewhere busy, and that's how these pedophiles and different kind of people do. Perverts, that's what they do, because the parents is not available. Will I ever know who born me? So the baby who was given away gonna want to know who born the baby, because the baby won't know because the baby was given away. Okay? It was a meeting place some kind of way. You had a meeting place every time wherever you took her at, and she was wearing certain kind of clothes, whatever kind of clothes she had on, unless you put her in certain kind of clothes to take pictures or something like that and put something online. So I gotta go with all the cards I got. If you ain't do that with that part, okay, you ain't do that, okay? But you definitely had a meeting place, and you had whoever you had in certain kind of clothes. She might have had a choir robe on. I don't know what she had on, right? But first of all, she shouldn't even been with you nowhere. Really, she shouldn't have. I'm saying it. I don't know if these people get so gun-ho, trusting and all, they sit there and act like they got no kind of common sense. You trust no man with your little girl, no man. Or with your little boy, no man or nobody. And that's some people in those kind of positions, that's the worst people, because they sit there and take advantage of kids. You already know that from the Catholic churches and all that nonsense be happening. Abusing kids and all this nonsense. Go get a woman if you want somebody. Go get one. God ain't gonna tell you can't get no woman. I don't know what make people think God don't want you to have a mate. God wants you to have a mate. Go get one. God wants you to go get a mate. Don't be sinning. Go get a mate. You want a mate? Go get one. Go get one. Nobody telling you you're not locked up. Nobody telling you can't go get a mate. Go get one. Stop trying to hold up a title that you can't hold. You shouldn't be holding it anyway. You know you're interested in romance. Just act like it. Just go get you a mate. Sitting there taking advantage of people's kids. People crazy. Really, it is. That's why I don't care nothing about when you get prosecuted, because I don't like people doing things to kids. You're introducing children into grown-up stuff that it shouldn't even be a part of their lives and ruining their lives. So I'm not for you. Okay? Here we have right here that is a meeting place. A meeting place where parents shouldn't walk away. I'm on here. So this time all this goes with the giving away of the baby, I feel right here. Right here. Time and the date set. You on here, got skills. You can't buy me. Don't want the baby. Walking away from the baby. He had a meeting place, wherever you want to take me. Took the baby. It was chamber of chaos. It was negative. Something could have happened on a Thursday or Sunday or whatever day. She was in her emotions. Okay, so the cops, the police, the cops is the police, it's the same thing, right? Okay, the cops or the family or different people hooking notes about her so-called friends, or the fire department or whoever it is, or wherever they took the baby at, wondering, well, who's the father or who's the parents, because the parents walked away up here. Had deep feelings inside. Might like the color purple. It might was raining. Okay, something on the skin, whatever it is, on his skin, her skin, the baby skin, from birthmark, moles, freckles, dimples, bruises, burns, eczema, whatever. She had a sheltered mind, a false imprisoned mind, the child. Okay, I'm going to try to finish this. Okay, she is being appreciative of a house that was sufficient. That would be the church. Tension was brewing, and death was the last result. So the end was the last result. The end of being at this church, or the end as far as tension brewing, the end of being abused by this pastor. Because the baby survived, so I can't put it with real death because the baby survived. She is being deceived by somebody of service, and he was a pastor, and he was of service. So it's going to take a miracle to make him a felon. Okay, so something could have happened when she was 15. Let me see, something fell. Let's see. Okay, the card fell. Okay, she wanted to be validated by this pastor. It fell on the floor. Okay. So somebody in the spirit, who in the spirit? The baby didn't die, right? Let's just see something. Maybe somebody else died. I don't know. Somebody died. The next thing happened. I don't know. Oh my goodness. It's like, okay, let's just see. He was, let's see something. He was souping things up for a speedy recovery. And she was, once the baby was taken to the fire station or whatever. Power stays with the wife, not with the ex. So if this man had a wife or had some man on the side who he was talking to or whatever, power stayed there, not with this little girl, because he was jerking this little girl around. Would have been a family member. She is calming her pain. She is walking a thin line, dealing with this situation. She know all about it. Love don't hurt. Love heals. And this pastor, that's all he did was hurt. Because he is looking at her as his good fortune. And his good fortune was to just take advantage of her and use her as his sex object. Because that's what I'm hearing in my mind. And looking at her family as his good fortune. Just constantly getting money out of them. Or, like I said, he might have had something online. Pictures, anything like that. And that's fortune. Get what I'm saying? Fortune means money, okay? Let's just see. He thought he was better than her, or he dealing with somebody in jail that's not his race. They got a problem with his race or anything like that, but they need to see it in the world of their mind, or he just thought he was better than her. So we got another fortune card again. He wanted to play in his fortune, taking his best shot. Boy, I keep seeing money cards back to back, so he might have been doing something online. Pictures of her, or anything like that. Right? Next card is take off every layer and reveal the naked soul. Somebody who got a lot of money, so he had money because he can. The pastors usually had some kind of money, more than what their darn congregation got. Well, most of them did, right? So he the money machine here, and he wanted her to take off every layer, but he might have took her darn clothes off. We dealing with a little girl, so he did whatever he did to her all the way up until whenever, because he wanted to play in his fortune and take his best shot. So he might have been taking pictures of her, making money off of her. Get what I'm saying, right? Lately, it's going to be justified that that's probably what he was doing. Or that's what he wanted to do after a while, and he started doing it. Anything like that. this man alone with this little girl, you don't know what this man was doing. He got ecstatic. He got ecstatic. Right? Your loved one would not want you to be depressed. You got to start to live your life again. If you're not. So some kind of way after a while, this little girl got depressed. Or we got somebody in their family who died. Get what I just said? Anything like that. In a beautiful state with a foreigner. Okay, so put the candle out. This is a death card though, so let's just see. Wait. Hold on. Like, he put her candle out. Or maybe somebody in their family died some kind of way, was killed. Anything like that. Maybe somebody in their family maybe died, got killed, something like that. Let's see. We got 25, February the 5th. Or 25 or 52. She had to start falling back in love with herself off of what happened to her with this man, because it was premeditated what he did. And she had to be a realist because she a bigger person now. She had a child, so she is like, I don't know what she is, 20, I don't know what she is now, but she got to be a realist right now to know that this was premeditated. She didn't know she was a child back then. Here she is again. I'm beautiful. I must not forget that. I must get past this and continue my life. Circumstances stopped her from framing it for a lifetime. So circumstances stopped her from framing it for a lifetime, where her situation is from keeping her baby. Right? Because she gave her baby away. Or circumstances stop somebody from living for a lifetime. Somebody they know might have got killed or something like that. Somebody they know. Because I see a spirit card in here. So the baby was given away, the baby alive. So somebody they know might have got killed, because I see more than one card that go with dying. So we have she need to believe in God's word, not man's word, because she is believing in what this man's saying, because he's not God. He's just a pastor. He might have thought he was God, and people look at the pastor as God, but the pastor is not God. The pastor is a man walking around like you are. Why did my mom give me up? So we got, the child would be wondering, this baby who was given away is going to wonder why the mother gave the baby up in time. I wonder who I look like or act like, because the child is not going to know. That's all the baby going to know is I was given away, and I don't know who my mother is. But then I can take it with this little girl here that got molested by this pastor. I can take it to her where she can say, why did my mother give me up? And that is, why did her mother give up on her and just let her be with this man at these different places? Because why wasn't her parents around? Ask yourself that question. How was this man able to be alone with your child 600 times? I mean, think about that, how that even sound as a parent. Where in the heck were you at, mother? Where were you at, daddy? I'm saying it. You got to accept it. That you wasn't in your place. You wasn't in your position. Because you so busy believing this pastor like he God, and he didn't attack your child. You saying 600 times you failed your child. You need to try harder next time. Yeah. Angel peeping through the peephole. So your child was like an angel, an angel peeping through the peephole. Or we have the baby is the angel. So we have right here that God is a path. I'm walking the right path. Making a gesture. So we're going to take this as the little girl. Well, she not little now. She a big person now, but I still got to call her the little girl for right now because I don't know her name. So the little girl, she is bigger now and all, right? We already know that, but I'm going to just say the young lady. Because she, with this card, she bigger. With this one, she peeping through the peephole. God telling her try harder in love and in business and accept it. She felt her mother gave up on her. Her mother wasn't around to protect her. And that she ain't live with her mother. I just don't know. She was believing in man's word, and that would be that pastor up here. That sorry pastor up there. She an angel, God saying, peeping through the peephole, trying to get our life together. God is a path from walking the right path, so she an earth angel person. She can make adjusted to God. It's her prerogative to be getting a little testy. So she might have been getting a little testy as far as when all the stuff was happening to her, or she gonna be like that now because she gonna be dealing with trial or anything like that or whatever. She wanted loving treatment, or does a man wanted loving treatment back then? He is saying he was vengeful back then because she was sustaining herself at a shelter, and that would be at that church building back then, wherever she was. Okay, we got racial abuse was hyped up. So back then, if it wasn't racial, there's the same race, he just was thinking he was better than, so he was controlling, or he dealing with racial abuse as far as being locked up. So here we got the rape. She had to seek help for a rape because he did rape her. She was trying to get along because she was just trying to get along because she was dealing with the pastor, but she had to seek help for a rape. Okay, so she is in Doomstown dealing with this pastor in this church. No more joking around because he wanted no more joking around. So he raped her to gain force. So we have, it was real, she is penny pinching. Or he was penny pinching, or both of them. She is thinking it's love, but where she get that behavior at? Thinking it's love, or where did the parents get this behavior at? Thinking it's love. Because after a while, these parents knew something was wrong, some kind of way with their child, whatever it was, something. There's no way your child, something going to happen 10 whole years and you don't know something with your child. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I want what I signed up for, a man or a woman nesting. So we have right here, I want what I signed up for, a man or a woman. So he's supposed to have been a pastor. So the parents should have been wanting what they signed up for, a pastor, right? Not a molester. I'm turning it around. Right? So we have right here that it was made impossible. This is an impossible card, so it's impossible for the child to be able to get out of the situation. It was made impossible because some kind of way the parents just wasn't in place, or somebody that they know died, and it was impossible for the person to be able to survive, anything like that. Okay, it's not ordinary that one of them see somebody dying, or it's not ordinary that somebody see somebody dying. I don't want to say the other meaning right now. So we got a man who take pills. I don't know. Somebody maybe at the church, a family member, a friend, or whoever this is, some man. Not the, if this not the pastor card, this another man altogether. Unless it's the father, I don't know who it is, right? Somebody. Okay. He had unstoppable energy, and he wanted her to keep her cool. Trying to end it. Let's see. So we have He is looking at the structure of it. But it's going to be justice for sure by the court system as far as him. Because the little girl wanted him to change, but he wasn't doing no changing of his ways. Because he did something strategic wherever he lived. Let me see, what did they say he lived on? I gotta look and see, I forgot. Was it Houston? We got number 6. Something might happen in June and October, or whatever it is, I don't know. So let's just see. She is dealing with a Judas, and he definitely was a Judas. But the family was dealing with a Judas. There's believing everything came out of his crooked mouth. He is a wonderful conqueror. He made everything happen he wanted to make happen. He just had them sucked in. This was going to cost them, though. And what it did was cost them their child's virginity. This man, her childhood and everything. Trusting this Judas. So when she is littler, some kind of way, he gave her whatever he gave her. Because he said it's going to cost you. Can we do it now? Whatever he was saying. So we got a mother. So it's going to cost her. So he might have offered her money back then. Can we do it now? Or whatever it is. Expect nothing less than the best and spell it out. He's going to be assertive and assess things, because morally he know he was wrong. God says, his pastor, he knows it. He a pastor, he know what he doing. It was abuse. God says he wanted his needs met, so he just took advantage of this child. We got number 23, 32. Something could happen to him during those ages, or when he was 3, when he was 5, or whatever this is. Okay, a lot of money was being ran up. The account ran up, tabs, anything like that. He might have owed money, he needed money, he was buying things for her, or whatever was going on, I don't know. Trying to make money or whatever. He thought he was so smart. Well done. And a reasonable voice that was suitable for him. He is going to do some talking to her or to the judge or whatever, right? So here we got right here. God says, are your leaders your God? Is this man your God? Parents? Or is God your God? Are you molded to a religion? And you was molded because this man sit there and took advantage. And this man just walked all over you. Stomped all over you. When he touched your child each time, he stomped over you. The news say 600 times. Now that shows that the parents wasn't in place. Period. Education. Equal and fair. So you want justice from the court system. Equal and fair. Okay, might have been some kind of eating, meat with sauce on it. He might have offered her. You might be eating. He might have been eating, or whatever. Spilling it will only help her, though. She got to tell everything she know. Whatever she remember, tell it. Say she a conscious thinker. Because it was some flip talk from him whenever it might have been. Or it might be now. I don't know. So we have with this one. Your struggle will lead you to the next best place to be, God says. If you are having a hard time, don't stay stuck there. So when she was little, she didn't know that. But the older she got, she could understand what this card means. At 10 years old, 11, and 12, 13, 14, this card, she could know what this card means. Anything after that, she wouldn't. Even now to now, your struggle will lead you to the next best place to be. If you're having a hard time, don't stay stuck. Don't stay there. Go over somewhere else. Go talk to somebody or whatever. But we got him threatening or whatever he's doing over on his side. Wearing certain clothes. He was a pastor. He had on that robe. He had on that suit. Right? Wearing certain kind of clothes. Exaggerated things. But it don't excuse his bad, nasty behavior. Because he felt it's time that he is going to be the conqueror. But right now, as far as this trial, it's turned around. I'm hearing ball game over. It's turned around. It's going to be her time to be that conqueror. She in charge. She going to be in charge. She just got to open her mouth and talk. Tell the truth. Say she got to say. Your loved one is here in spirit. Somebody died. Somebody, because I've been seeing that too. Somebody died that they know, or anything like that, or I don't know who though. Don't hold yourself hostage to your death. I can actually say her childhood died, her virginity, I can take it that way, but this really is I'm trying to look at it as a real person. And our emotions, covering things up, the family covering things up, don't want to see what they need to see, because they saw that this man was, they saw something about this man, and they saw something heard about their child, some kind of way. They saw something. They know what this child's supposed to have been molested 600 times. The parents wasn't in place. Why would this man be with your child? Something is off with the parents. So I blame parents, because you let somebody just be alone with your child. I don't care who he is. I don't care if he's Jack Frost. I don't care who he's supposed to be. He shouldn't have been with your child nowhere, and you sitting home or wherever y'all was at. Don't be talked down to because you show your emotions. So when she get on that stand, show your emotions, let it all out. Well, he might have been talking down to her because she's showing her emotions or whatever back then. No matter her climb, she need to keep God front and center. Because he might have been sitting there talking about what God say or whatever. But you got to use your own common sense. You know God ain't saying that. Once you get so big and old enough, you know God is not saying that. You know right from wrong the older you get. She had anxiety because he was telling her something was her fault, or she felt like it was her fault. But really it's not her fault. It's his fault. Put the blame where it goes. It's his fault. Okay, so is that it, universe? I think that's it, right? Okay, I think that's it. They say he going to jail. Well, he already in jail, I think. So, yeah. The parents ain't do what they supposed to do. And that's not good at all. See, people get so messed up in the mind and all in worshiping a man instead of God, and sit there and your child ain't got molested. Some people just reach their children over on a silver platter to people. There's all kind of people that go to church out here. They act like they have no kind of common sense. Cults and all kind of stuff out here. Ain't no way this baby supposed to have got touched or whatever happened to her 600 times. I wouldn't even want to show my face to the public. I wouldn't even want to show myself to the public. I wouldn't even want to even be living in that town and people know that about me. That I let somebody do something to my child 600 times. Where were you at, mother and father? Where were you? And why would your child be with some grown man somewhere? I mean, really? 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 Because I'm scolding you right now. I'm scolding you. Because God is going to get him. So he going to get his well due. He going to get his justice. God going to get it spiritually with him. And I guess the court system going to do whatever they going to do. But the parents, you got to be, you got to be, you have to be, what you call it, spanked. You got to be spanked by the brass loved one. Where were you at? You know when we tell our children, where were you at? Where were you at? Just like when I was 15, I got my last beating when I was 15. My mother said, where was you? I told you don't go up to your cousin's house. I went anyway, let my friend talk me into going up there. I got a spanking, right? I mean, I call it a whipping, right? Because I was a big person. But what I'm trying to say is, I'm giving you a spanking. Where were you? I want to know, where were you, myself? Why wasn't you in place for your child? And I'm dealing with the mother and the father. Because this man I already then talked out to him. I want to know, where were you people at when this stuff been happening to this child 600 times? a whole 10-year span. I mean, really. So I got to do something real fast to see what's going on with the parents, Lord. Mother and father. Give me something for the mother and the father. Just the mother and the father. Why weren't they in place for their child? I mean, really. Really, what was going on with these parents? Was somebody addicted to drugs? Was one of you addicted to drugs? Or both of you? People can do all kind of stuff to your kids when you're not available because they feel like they can just do anything. I don't know. I'm going to find out when God put these cards on the table. One more. Okay, up in here. God said up in here somewhere. Okay, I'm going to take some from over here. Because I want to know what's going on with the parents. Really, why would your child be loose with some man over 600 times? Think about that. I don't get it. I see a card on top is a jail card, and he in jail. But maybe one of you want to go to jail because really, that was neglect. I mean, Father, I'm concerned. A lot of the blame goes on you, the parents, because you sit there and reach your child over to this man. I think I keep seeing the drug card come out, so I don't know if one of you is on drugs or what, or both of you. Because you go to church, I don't mean you won't be on drugs, because that's a place where people go for healing. You can be a drug addict going to church. That's the thing you're trying to get off. I don't know. I want to know what was your problem, though. You had some kind of problem when you letting this man be alone with your child. I don't care if family member, I don't care who he is. I don't care if he Jack Frost. He got in minutes with your child somewhere doing all this nasty, terrible stuff to your baby for 10 whole years, 600 times. Please say, I hope that's not true, what I heard on that news. That sounds terrible. Somebody done counted out the times. One more. Stop. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to find out these parents, Lord. Now, this is the parents. My focus is the parents with this right here, what you hear me doing right here. Because I want to know what's going on with these parents. What was going on with these parents where their child got all this abuse happened to this child. Ruined her for life. Look, here's a rape card. Raped in a car. Raped, drug addicted. See, it's coming out. So, some kind of way, maybe one of the parents was on drugs. One of them or both of them or whoever. Maybe they say raped in a car. Maybe one of the parents was raped before in a car, or rape period or whatever, or just raped before, or stolen from, or car was stolen, or just was on drugs. Because I'm focusing on these parents. I'm not selfish because I want a whole man or a whole woman. Be considerate of your partner. So we might have one of the parents was on drugs or something like that. And other parent wasn't in place, maybe, I don't know. Somebody gonna get tensed up because they're gonna be in front of a judge, and that would be pretty much this man who's the culprit, or one of these parents. They should be there because, you know, you wasn't you got to free yourself and do some talking. Why wasn't you there for your child? You and the mother and the father faced the situation because you was lacking. Okay, don't die with the person, you still have life. So maybe one of the parents not alive, I just don't know. Don't die with the person. Somebody died, because I don't know who though. Okay, take action. Going to take action and go to a place, and maybe that would be the courthouse or whatever, or just go to the church or whatever it might have been. I don't know. Okay, we got a total community at the church, maybe. Let's just see. Maybe one parent got custody, I just don't know for sure. Or we dealing with, this could be the court. Don't get tensed up. So, felt boxed in maybe. Or we got this man, he's going to jail, we know, but maybe one of the parents going to go to jail, or one of the parents was in jail, or whatever this is. Okay, you're on your path, so go forward. So we got one of the parents that's going to be on the parents' path. You need to go forward. One of the parents might be on the jail, might be in jail, or whatever this is. Let's just see. God don't want no excuses. But the judge don't want none either up here with the judge. The lecturer is the judge. The judge gonna be talking about maybe the little girl that's adored. Don't want no excuses. Why wasn't you in place? Or whatever's going on here. Why did this even happen? Questioning your ability to be a star, to be a parent. What and why wasn't you around for your child? Having empty thoughts while time was going by. So we have right here that he wanted to take the child places or whatever. And you needed to ask. He wanted to spend time with the child, but you needed to ask, you know, why did he want the child? How long it was going to be and things like that. But maybe you didn't. So the judge might be putting you on trial, asking you a bunch of questions. And you might feel like the judge got in there asking you questions. Because question your ability to be a star, to be a good parent. Because why is your child going with some man? So we got the jail card. This man committed a senseless act and he gonna boo-hoo going to jail. But the parents did also, because you sit there and allowed your child to go with this man, this pastor. And he just, you asked him, whatever you asked him, what did he want or whatever, and you just allowed this stuff. Okay? Maybe you need to get more sleep to become more energetic. Maybe you was tired out. Maybe you was drinking. You need to move away from any deterrent, anything that annoys you in a situation. When you start to feel the real, you're going to come out. So maybe one of the parents or one of you was on drugs some kind of way. I don't know. Let's see. You wanted to be fruitful. You wanted to be fruitful. Look at things and don't run. Something comes from your childhood. So something comes from this pastor's childhood, but something comes from one of the parents' childhood too. So we dealing with symbols, logos, or a company. So we dealing with the judge right now, but then we dealing with the church. In the church, you already know that's like a, here's a logo to it, right? Symbol. So we had a fruitful, the pastor wanted to be fruitful, and that is molest the child. But then the father or the mother wanted to be fruitful by just going to church in general, and that would be called being fruitful. So we had, he wasn't valuing the little girl, this pastor. He might have talked about going on a vacation or something like that. Might have took them to places or whatever this is. He wanted to be playful for an hour with her. He wanted playtime. That's romance or talk business. So he might want to talk business with the parents, but he wanted to have playtime with the child, and that was romance. But he might have told the child it was playtime. Get what I'm saying? But the parents need to be the best king and queen they could be, and not just let your child just go on a vacation with people and go here and go there and just leave it like that. You needed to act now so your family could survive. You and your child could survive. Some type of information that you was going to get that showed that it was a lack of love for your child and also for you as parents, because this man cared nothing about you as parents. He looked at you as a chump, the father, and as the mother, he looked at her how he looked at her, the walkover. Don't let what you seek ruin your life because you can't find it. So we have the father and the mother busy doing whatever you doing. Maybe taking men on drugs or whatever's going on here, or drinking, one or the other. Some kind of way, something. What distracted you from being able to have your child and letting this man have your child all these times. A man is more than a pair of pants. So we got the father wasn't husband worthy, so something was going on with the father. This pastor definitely wasn't husband worthy. So you need to have structure the father, because you got stung because you found out that this man that you're looking up to that molested your child. It's wake up time. God said it was time for you to continue your life. So he was mouthy, wondering what you're going to do about it, or you was mouthy and you was deciding and wondering what you was going to do about it, because he showed a lack of love. So it was some talking over the telephone. Where you want some pillow talk. So we could have a parent in jail and a parent out of jail, or we just got parents that separated, period, or we just have the one of the parents talking to the pastor because they are relatives, so that's a nice talk, pillow talk. One extended in person. Pastor amazed that one of the parents acting spicy and different. Okay, because we have right here that because the parent wasn't holding this pastor accountable, you was resistant because you know something ain't right. Man taking the child on trips or playtime or whatever he was doing, because he tested and measured and saw how far he could go, and it was awful, God said. So he wants you to give him another chance. Wanted you to give him another chance, I guess, because you family. But he had hidden feelings inside. Well, you have hidden feelings inside the father or the mother. You needed to just say because you thought something or you knew something. And that's the bottom line. You did. I'm saying it. And God saying it on his table. You let your child go to playtime with this man, play dates or whatever he was doing, or something at the church or whatever the heck he was planning out on vacation or whatever with this man. You drinking, you're on drugs, one of you on drugs, drinking, you used to be, or whatever this is. I don't really see a job card, so it wasn't like you was at work and you were so busy at work or anything. It's not saying that. Let's just see. Okay, let's see. You needed to challenge some kind of self-love. This man walked all over you and the child's mother. It was consequences if you didn't leave her ex or you did. So I feel like with this right here, it was going to be consequences if you didn't leave that church house and get away from that church, or if you did leave, because this supposed to have been your family member who did this to your child. God says for the best outcome for a better future, you had to have no more conquest in love or business. So we have something's online. So we got something online. Somebody looking up something online, or this man was doing something online, selling pictures online, anything as far as online, because here the online again, searching online. So we got the God card, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So some kind of way, you feel like no weapon formed against you shall prosper. You're going to be simply honest because you felt like this person light up your life. This a family member. So you had to sow a seed out of non-doubt. Somebody wanted insurance. Somebody wanted insurance to sow a seed of non-doubt. Somebody wanted to make sure something was going to happen or is going to happen. So back then, it could have been where, I don't know. Wait a minute. Somebody wanted to make sure, wanted to sow a seed out non-doubt, want to make sure something's going to happen. Want to be sure something's going to happen. Let's see something with this one. Coping mechanism. Okay. The child was isolated for a coping mechanism, or the parents was isolated for a coping mechanism. So we have right here that somebody thought they was better than, so this pastor thought he was better than the parents or better than the father or whoever. Taper it. PA York. So we have knowing that you are the star in the light. Should you prosecute? Yeah, you should prosecute against him, because the child is the star in the light. Knowing him matters not, that he your relative. Should you prosecute? Yes. And the father should too. So we have somebody sugarcoating things, trying to stitch things, sitting at the table trying to talk, maybe as far as in court or home or whatever. Because we got a cat catcher, a man who could get a lot of ladies. So we dealing with a pastor, and we dealing with church. So we know in church, majority of the church members are females. We can take it that way. He had drain energy. So it's a speedy tongue lashing between the father, the mother, and this pastor here. Might have been some kind of eating of some kind of food. A threat was put out because the ingredients was charred, where you get mad with the person where you through and you done. You really mad with the person. So he need to go on and begin. The father, I guess. Or the mother, whichever one of the parents. One of them. I'm saying the father though. Seem like, because he's sensitive, he in his emotions. So we have, he is going to wrap it up every time and just pray about it. I'll pray for you. So he is going to wrap it up every time, and he'll pray for him. What he is going to do is pray himself. So some kind of way he's going to wrap it up every time. So this this pastor might have been doing something online, some kind of way. Anything as far as online. Because I saw the fortune cards and I see the line card over there. So wrap it up every time. Being with the baby, wrapping it up every time, just doing whatever with the baby. And he is just going to pray about it. You got 13, 31. Okay, bullying me. So maybe the father was being bullied by the pastor. Number 5, God's number of grace. Maybe the father was getting bullied by this pastor, because he thought he was better than what he is. Okay, so we have maybe the father was taking some kind of drugs, or we have the little girl was in pain, or we got the father was on some kind of drugs, or the pastor takes some kind of drugs, or both of them take some kind of drugs, or whatever's going on here. Okay, somebody is a genius. So he thought he was a genius, this pastor. He looked down at this father, looked like looking down on him. But the father need to love himself first and never stop wanting the best out of love. Something could have happened between 9 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. Court hearing or getting this baby. Because this happened 600 times. Who was counting? Who's counting to know it's 600 times? Who was doing this counting? Who was counting to know that? Really? Number 7. Something could happen when she is 7. So we have, do not let your emotions stop you from going to a place. So he wasn't going to let his emotions stop him from going to a place, going to the church house, even though he knew certain things, or going to the courthouse, one or the other. The father. He had no more time for that. So they're supposed to be relatives, right? Okay, universe, you know all about it. Okay, universe. Where's the mother at? Where's the mother of this child at? I don't see no mother cards coming. I saw a mother back then, but that was when I was saying, because it seemed like, I feel like I'm dealing with the father right here and this pastor. Something online or what was going on, because we have want to sow a seed of insurance for no more doubt. That's when you want something, you want it set in stone. Whatever it is, you want something set in stone. Something gotta be set in stone. It's something like you playing something out to the T. You want it set in stone. That's all I can say. So it might have been a money deal. Just jumping out. This always a bad card though. So maybe he was in a money deal with the father some kind of way. They might have been doing something online. He need to tell him he wanted out. Or court. What you call it? Church is a money scheme. So he was in the church with them. So church is a money scheme. Get what I'm saying? It's a money scheme. It's a way people trying to get money. It's a money scheme. Or they was doing something online. Take it however it goes. Okay, let's just see. He's pinching the surface of a thing. The father. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to end it. One more. Universe, you know all about it. You know all about it with this family. You know all about it. I feel he has some kind of addiction. Somebody has an addiction. I really think it's a product because it's jumping out at me. This one right here. Right here. Addictions play a part in soul breaking. Find out why he was stuck with it. Some kind of addiction. The father had whatever kind. Well, drug addiction or drinking or whatever was going on with him. I'm trying to end it. Universe. I don't have my card right here. I don't have my card right here. I haven't. That's in my other batch of cards. I'm hearing it though. Somebody had a feather in their hat. The feather in their hat means somebody had an idea. Somebody came up with an idea. I got a feather in my hat. That means I got an idea. So somebody had an idea because we got the money scheme, remember? So church is a money scheme because it's a way you try to make money. But then it was another money scheme, some kind of way where you're dealing with online. Because I see an online card. I see more than one online card, and I see when it's like a time period on it where something is going to cease. You know, when you have sales online, what they say, oh, it's up until 2 days and then it's off. Get what I'm saying? So let's just flow a little bit. Okay, so we got a place right here. This is a bad place too. So he was taking a baby. I'm going to make this the church though. Wherever he's taking a baby somewhere. This say hotel on here, but the church or wherever he's taking a baby. He's taking a baby somewhere that he had serving as a hotel. Because she went with somebody she trusted, and that was this pastor. Follow me? There's always bad news when this come out. It's always bad news. Always. Okay, universe, I'm trying to end it. I just want this man to get what's coming to him. He needs to stop loafing around and change house. But see, she is, this the father's storyline, so I got to focus with the father. He needs to stop loafing around and change house, the father. That means he needed to get away from that church, get his child out of that church. because he is the adult here. He was the adult. Get what I'm saying? Universe, you know all about it. I'm trying to finish this. Something was counted more than one time, and it was time, and time counted to this pastor. Okay, let's just see. If anything wrong in this storyline reading, I want God to not let it upload. I want God to not let it upload. If anything wrong with any of these cards, if one of the cards is not accurate, I want God not to let it upload. Get what I said? Okay. So we have the father had a checkered past and was looking at the pastor was looking at the positives in the father, or the pastor had a checkered past and the father was looking at the positives. However it's flowing. To please the pastor's soul, he felt that the father had to go. Or to please the father's soul, he felt the pastor had to go. That means he want to get him locked up, or however it's flowing. Okay, I need to. Okay, let's see. Fear took him there. People. Fear took the pastor there that did what he did. Or the father there that did do what he did. Hold on to that thought, people. Okay? So I'm trying to end it. I'm trying to end it now. Because I'm trying to find out where these parents at to this baby. Where's the parents? That's what I'm saying. Where's the parents? What's going on with the parents where ain't that much of work? Your child ain't got, they saying on the news 600 times molested or touched 600 times or whatever happened. 600 times? Who's counting first of all? Is some definite neglect going on. Okay, this is a foster care card. Was she in foster care? I don't know. This can serve as the church. Okay, this is loving for a cause. This is a card that means that somebody loving you only because they want to get money out of you. Money or whatever they can get from you. So the pastor was loving a little girl for a cause. And what he was getting out of her was he was sexually abusing her. Follow me. Okay, as far as I can make this to church, and the pastor ran the church and he was trying to get the money out of the parents, and he only cared about them bringing in the dough. Get what I'm saying? Or she was in foster care some kind of way, period. And whoever her foster care parents was, if these people ain't her real parents or whatever's going on here, they was loving her just because of money. Okay? But that baby got put in adoption somewhere. But the people who took the baby, they taking the baby for money because they gotta have money to take care of the baby. Okay? So we're dealing with a leader, and that would be this pastor. He don't have to be an Aries or a fire sign or earth sign, but he is a leader. Right? A pastor, right? When you complain about your ex, you feed the person power, him or her power. Okay, so yeah, it was a timeout. Sensitive to him. So she had to be sensitive to him. It was a timeout when she complained about him. She was like in foster care, like in church. So it was like a timeout. She had to have timeouts with this man whenever he had her in a room, or wherever he had her stuck and trapped at, or whatever was going on. Like I say, he was a shark. He is a shark to her, period. You know, felt like you got to do what he said because he's a pastor and all this nonsense. Wanted her to be sensitive and wanted her to show some tenderness, but God said right here that life is about experience, not about wasting. So what he did was Thursday morning message. So tomorrow is Thursday, and any Thursday, maybe somebody in their family died some kind of way, because I did see where somebody died some kind of way in their family some kind of way. You know, so somebody, you know, but unless it ain't happened. You know, but life is about experience, not about wasting, taking up a life, or destroying a life or anything like that. Because her life was not treated right when she was molested. Okay, or somebody they know died, was killed, or it ain't happened yet, or something like that. Except what you cannot change. She had to accept what she can change and acknowledge her wrongs, and don't expect it from others, but or her parents. Because he was tearing her down to build himself up, or he was tearing down the parents, the father mainly probably. So she went somewhere where it's supposed to have been nice and light and nice, and that would have been the church house, but then it wound up being danger. Okay, I'm trying to end it, Lord. I'm so much trying to end it. Whoa. One more. Okay, I gotta get these. And I'm just done. That's a wrap. I'm just going to be done with it, Lord. Just going to be done. If any card's not right, Lord, just let it not go up, because I don't want to put nothing on that's not right. Okay. Somebody was pricing it. Okay. Pricing it. How much money? So in church they be asking for money. They be wanting you to give money, give donations, and tithe and things like that. But somebody might have been pricing how much money you want to give. So some kind of way, some money. Somebody was pricing, want to know how much something going to be, because somebody was copping and the other person was downing. So we have right here the sounds of the child weighed the pastor down, or weighed the father down, or somebody else who died, they know, or it ain't happened yet, anything like that. So let's go. So let's just see. Okay, so we had this card, do you love your wife? Somebody stepping out. If you love money, you're going to save some money. So somebody stepping out on their wife. So this pastor was stepping out on somebody he was talking to. If he got a wife, he's stepping out on her when he was messing with this little girl for 10 years. Okay? So if he don't have a wife and he got a man, he's stepping out on him. However it is, he is stepping out. Or the father was stepping out on whoever he had, and he was stepping out. However it's going, somebody was stepping out. But I really feel like it's the pastor messing with this baby. Okay? It was seed time, and it was a sure thing for the pastor, or for the father, or both of them. Okay, so they was going to be sharing in the support group, and that would be in church or in court now, because we got a leader who stole as far as finances, or as far as a little girl's virginity. Okay, so we have get out while you can. He don't love you, he don't like you. So God was talking to the father to move his child from out of that situation, get out of this stuff, right? So we have right here number 37, 73, or number 7 or number 3, or number 11. Something could have happened as far as her. Because God wanted him to get out and just focus on his own self, right? Just get away from maybe this church, maybe, or anything like that. Because this man ain't had romance in a long time, and he wanted romance, the pastor. So we have somebody need to exercise. Youth don't last for so long, maybe the pastor. Okay, a time was mentioned by the pastor and the father, or whatever this is. Time was mentioned, so I'm ready to love you. Ring time, so some kind of way. We might have, the father might wanted to marry a lady, or the pastor wanted to marry a woman, or whatever's going on. Anything like that, or he just was trying to engage with this child back then, and that's what's being considered ring time. He trying to engage because he ain't had romance in a long time, or whatever, or as an actual woman, or somebody he is connected to, or the father. Nobody's perfect. The pastor feel right. The ex is not for you. Or the father. It was a mystery to all that this person had all these demons. A lot of demons going on. Okay, so God will help him, but he gotta listen to God. Come on and go to that training class to help get you in place. This would be for the pastor, because he had a lot of demons going on. And the father. Right? Both of them, where they needed help. Both of them needed help. Groggy. Okay. Pastor wanted to plan his vision, right? But This caught him off guard. He was cross-dressing. So we have right here that the pastor was cross-dressing by wearing a robe he wearing on like he a pastor, but then he take that off and he became somebody else. Cross-dressing. You acting like the people out in the street that you always be preaching about against. Or he actually was cross-dressing. You know what that means. He's acting like Satan. Devilish. Drinking some juice or drinking whatever, passing the masses, or got people in his church, the masses. Teaching children was his path, but he'll be a workhorse, but he just wasn't teaching children the right way. He was molesting children. So that's bad for a path to be his path. And he doing stuff like that. He teaching them the wrong way. He chanced it and he chose to go the wrong way and abuse kids. So his activity on his cell phone, but his phone locked or don't have service, so because something was insinuated to him with sharp words, because money was pending, because there's a secret here that can be acknowledged, because he didn't want to postpone an active action. So he was being followed, or he was doing some following. To gain is to lose what need to go, or somebody wanted to lose him and get away from him. The activity on his phone. Okay, he had to show that he could build his future, and that would be the father, I feel, cheat on his own fortune. Okay, court is in session, or it's going to be, yes. Okay, so we have right here, he tatted and he going to need a mouthful, the pastor or the father, because the little girl needed one too at the time, but she didn't get it back then. Okay, no more trying to impress. He was trying to impress this pastor, because the pastor wanted to know, was he going to do it, or will he do it, or did he do it, or anything like that, as far as a situation that he didn't want postponed or secret. So we have right here, he was feeling the moisture of what this took from him. Look at your life, and if you don't see no progress, you gotta ask yourself, why do you not refuse to help that God sends to lead you to your path? So church is supposed to be a place where God leads you to your path to help you, but this church here wasn't a place. This church had a leader that was full of demons. So that's all he did, was take advantage of somebody else who had a lot of demons and just walk all over the person and take full advantage. That's terrible. He is keeping his options open. This pastor. Okay, can you feel God's mission being gay? Don't wonder why I ask. So some kind of way, maybe the father asked this pastor, are you gay? Or he needed to ask him, because some kind of way, it's saying right here, he's wondering if he can feel his God mission being gay. Okay, I'm trying to finish this now. I'm gonna make it in. I'm gonna drop these in, and that'll make me stop. Let's see. I'm gonna go through all about it. Okay, let's see. So we have this one. Universe, you know about it. Okay, so we have right here with this one. Let me see. Okay, did the actions of what the father did warrant what was done to the father? Because I'm not going to say with the child, because she is a child. So I'm dealing with the father and the pastor right now, because they related some kind of way. Somebody's related. That's what it said online. The father did something. Do it warrant whatever the father did, do it warrant what was done back. So his child was molested for the longest time, and then raped and had a baby. So that's all I can see what happened. Something happened to his child that way. So let's just say, because I don't really see, for something happened to somebody else, seemed like somebody might have died in their family, or it ain't happened yet, or whatever's going on here with this stuff. He's going to be that run and put his all in and make something happen, or just run away from something, or what his pastor was, because this pastor knew that he must respect the father, or he must respect the daughter after she got so old, or respect the father, period. He's animalistic and controlling the pastor or some other man. So we have on number 3, number 12, 6. So we have right here that sky high. This pastor wanted to get sky high express, or he couldn't go sky high. Okay, if you met the person lesbian or gay, you can still do God's mission. So we got this pastor, he gonna do God's mission. He gay and all, but he still feeling like he can do God's mission. So he doing all kind of stuff he doing behind the scenes though. Silly of me to think that I could fool you. So some kind of way, I guess, with the child's father, see that he gay or know that he gay or whatever this stuff is. So how much will it take for him to change the child's father to have a stable mind? Because the pastor was an enabler for the child's father to have financial gain, or the child's father was an enabler for the pastor to have financial gain, or the child was an enabler for the pastor to have financial gain because he had something online or whatever this stuff is. Okay. Flames were sparked, and the father captured the flames. It might have been fussing some kind of way. He had to answer his burdens to the father and drop the X, and that would be drop this pastor, drop this family member, whoever this man is, and focus on his journey, God says. So be it. He was dealing with somebody who he let tell him what to do, and that would be the pastor, the counselor. Or he gonna be dealing with a lawyer, or the pastor gonna be dealing with a lawyer. Might like the color coral. He might felt left out in the cold by the pastor, or the pastor felt like he was left in the cold by the father at one point or whatever, because I feel they related, or they said they related, or whatever's going on. I see it now. What's next, God? So he clapped back. He said that he decided he was done now. So something happened between 5:21 a.m. or whatever time a.m. and either turned to cause a dysfunction he need to get away from the father. So we dealing with the big boys. So the big boys are different people, from judges, law enforcement, judges, FBI, all lawyers, the pastor, gang members, any man large in charge is the big boys. So here antelope, that would be the father is an antelope to the big boys, and the big boys would be, the pastor is his big boy, but for the pastor, his big boy would be law enforcement and the judges. So attempts to find my mother is senseless. So the child, she is looking for her mother, was senseless. She couldn't find her mother, dealing with this man who was abusing her left and right. Okay, so we have pastor felt like the father was a turncoat, and he wanted to pluck the father, pluck it. Or he felt like the father was a turncoat and he wanted to molest the child, pluck it. Let's see something. Okay, so you can still do God's mission. I thought I said that. How many cards I got like that? You can still do God's mission if you like. You can still do God's mission if you like. can you still love me now? You know. So some kind of way this person told the father, whatever he told the father, I guess that he was molesting his child, or that he was gay, or whatever this is. Okay, so we have gathering up. This is when you get along with all races. Maybe the father, but the pastor's supposed to get along with all races. He a pastor, and he need to be sincere about it. He felt like a genius with what all he was doing, though. So we have he was tender and sissified, or the father, one of them. Okay, it was a book of lies. Feeling protected. It was a book of lies. Dealing with this man, this pastor. He need to filter it because he is gift seeking. From the pastor going to church, you gift seeking. But the pastor was gift seeking and molesting the father's child. The book of lies, believing what this man say. It was a bunch of lies. Okay? Do you really like the way you are? Because things will start to change and look good. Because some kind of way, maybe the pastor say, here, help him. Can I help you? Might have offered some money. Can I help you? Or something like that. And the pastor moved on it because maybe the father was gift seeking. Some kind of way. But doom was the last result. And it wound up being a countdown to recovery. Because he might have been on drugs or drinking when he went there. Anything like that. He or she was emotionally unavailable. So the pastor's mother wasn't available for him when he was young, and he got all kind of childhood wounds. Or we have the little girl. Her mother was definitely not available because ain't no way she's supposed to have been abused 600 times. That means your parents is not in place. I don't know where they were, but they wasn't in place. Her mother wasn't available emotionally. Period. What do mother love feel like? She want to know what mother love feel like because she was being abused by this man. I don't know if her father had just custody of her or what was going on here, because this makes no sense. I'm fighting my feelings, but I want to let them rise and get upset. Give me a reason why I should take you back. So this could be the father saying, give him a reason why he should take the pastor back as his friend or whatever, or forgive him, or it could just be the congregation in general, or hats off to you. He felt like he was going down benefit alley, the pastor. Let's see something. God said don't jeopardize it, because something's in plain sight for the father to see. Because he wanted to wash his hands on African American, and that's usually a death card, though. Let's just see something. Okay, we got number 5, God's number of grace. So we have dealing with a biller. He might owe money to the pastor or whatever this is in a poly relationship. So he in a poly relationship, the father was, or the pastor was, or he might owe money to the pastor. I'm trying to think here. Fussing about it, maybe. He might have owed money to the pastor, the father. He owed money to somebody, the big boy drug dealer, to somebody. Something like that. Let's just say. So we have right here that he's sticking around fire with no nonsense lessons, the father or the pastor. Okay? Or both of them. Refuse to stay in a puddle, God said, to keep you wet. The universe is driven to guide you to your path. So he stayed in a puddle by molesting this child over and over and over and over again for 10 whole years. But the father stayed in a puddle because if he is on drugs, addicted, or he is drinking, Alcoholics Anonymous, or whatever's going on with him, that's a puddle, and he need to get out of it. Okay? Or if it's just keep going to the same old church. If he was going to this church, actually, if he was going to the church, staying there over and over again. That's what you call a puddle. Temporarily, this man, this pastor, abused his power. Period. So, somebody died. It's back to that again. When you lose a spouse, friend, family member, somebody in your life, you are free. So, somebody died. If not, I guess it's going to happen. If it haven't, some kind of way, though. Okay, so we have right here that was dormant behavior that the father was holding on to for keepsake, along with the with the pastor. Everybody's holding on to it. So, I don't, it just, yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. Thank you, Lord, in advance for every blessing. So this is for, as far as the pastor, Robert L.Carter, I think it's Houston. So you're going to get everything that you're supposed to get from the judge. Because ain't no way this supposed that took place and everything be just fine. Everybody be fine with this. 10 whole years. How are we going to molest somebody's child 10 years, get them pregnant and everything and nobody knows nothing? No, somebody knows something. Parents is not innocent in this thing. We're not innocent in this thing. Come clean. Come clean. You're not innocent. Alright, this is the Brass Love 1 Halo to Roll 9 here on YouTube.